Hi guys, so I'm going to do a review today on the Sedona Lace Midnight Lace Brush Set. I ordered them on Black Friday because the whole of Sedona Lace had 40% off, which I thought was a really good deal because I was going to order them anyway and pay the full price, so I was just happy that it was a really good deal for them. They come in this, it's like a leather cup. When you pop it open, and it comes two different cups, so they're good for storing your brushes in, and you can store other makeup brushes in them as well, but then it's also good for travelling. And it's very durable, like you can wipe it clean really easy, which is good if you have like makeup on your hands and get it on the brush set. So all of the brushes have black handles with like a holographic, I don't know if you can see it, like a holographic, the writing's holographic, and silver here. And the actual bristles, they go from pink to purple. Well, they're supposed to be from pink to purple, but I think it more looks like pink to brown or pink to black. But all the brushes are synthetic, which means they're 100% synthetic hair, no animal hair. And it's also very good if you use in liquid. It doesn't absorb much of the product, which means you're not wasting as much. Right. It also comes with this, which has a little information on all of the brushes. So if you need to start out to makeup, it explains how to use all of them and gives you handy tips. I think usually the brushes are $79, I think. I think it's about $79, but I got them for $39. Okay, so starting off, I'm going to look at this powder brush, which is the 376. It's just your standard powder brush. It's really fluffy and big, but not too big that it's too big for your face, and also it's really dense. I don't know if you can see that, but it's really dense and fluffy, and they're so soft. They're like some of the softest brushes I've ever tried, and they're just really good for just putting on powder all over your face, or maybe doing a bit of blush if you wanted quite an extreme blush, maybe for like night time. But it's really good, and I've washed it and didn't shed at all, not a single bit of shedding at all, which was really good. Second, we have the Duo Fibre brush, which is the 813, which looks like this. And it's like a normal Duo Fibre stipple brush, and yeah, again, it's really soft. It goes on really well for like if you want to do foundation. Like I've applied on foundation with it quite recently, and it's worked really well. It gives you quite an airbrushed finish, which is not, it's not maximum coverage, but it's not minimum coverage either. But it gives like a good amount of coverage without looking too cakey, and it's just really good. Like most of the time Duo Fibre brushes, they shed quite a lot, but this hasn't shed at all, and it's just really good for giving you an airbrushed finish. You can use it for like cream blush, cream bronzer as well. Any cream liquid products would be really good for that. Next we have the 727, which is their foundation brush, which is just, you know, a normal paddle foundation brush. I don't tend to use these a lot for foundation because it can go quite streaky, which isn't a good look ever, so I tend to use more brushes like these instead of them. But for what it is, it's a really good one. It's really soft. I haven't really used it yet because I don't really use them, but it didn't shed or anything. Next we have the large contour brush, which is the 850. So it's like this. Yeah, again, it's like really dense, and it's good tapered, quite tapered. It's really good for applying contour, but it says the large contour brush, but I find this quite small. If you look, it's a good shape though. It does fit like right into the hollows of your cheeks, which is really good for contouring. But I would have liked it if it was a tiny bit bigger, but I'm not complaining. It's really good. Yet again, it doesn't shed. It's amazing. Next we have the 954, which is the concealer brush. This is like a tiny brush, good for concealer. It's good to get into areas like the corners of your eyes or around your nose. If you're wearing like a really dark lip colour, you know, to like go around your lips, it'd be really good for that. There's not much I can say about it. It's really good contour. It's really good concealer brush. But you could probably as well, you could use it for eyeshadow. It'd be quite good for patting someone. Also, if you want to like conceal around your eyebrows, give them more definition, it will get right in there, which is really good as well. Next we have the medium angled shading brush, which is 407, and it looks like this. It's very tapered, and yet again it's very dense. It's good for applying eyeshadow all over if you wanted to, but I like to use it if you want to use it in the corner. It can really pack on some colour in the corner and then sweep it and get really good into your crease really well, and it gives them a nice clean line, but it doesn't make them too harsh either. So if you didn't have a blending brush, you could probably just use this on your own, but this set comes with a blending brush, so it's alright. But it's really good because you can use it for pretty much anything on your eye, and it's not too big. I know with some of these you can get them too big and they won't fit, but I have quite small eyes and this fits quite nice. So that's really good. It just applies eyeshadow so well, and it's so soft and definitely worth it. Next we have the small angled brush, which is the 561. Looks like this. You could use this for doing your brows. It'd fill them in quite nicely. But I don't tend to do my brows that often, so I tend to use it if you're doing liquid liner or maybe more gel. And because of the nice taperedness and its really sharp pointed taperedness, it'd be really good for getting that good flick and cat eye with gel liner. I suppose you could also use it in your outer corner if you really wanted a dead harsh line. You could for night time, that would work really well as well. Next we have the large shader brush, which is the 941. It looks like this. It looks a lot like the concealer brush, but it's a lot thicker. If you look, that's the concealer brush, this is the shader brush. So I think this you could probably use for concealer as well. Like, you can use it for eyeshadow, but I don't tend to, because if you look how big it is compared to my eyelid, it's really big. Like, I suppose you could do it to sweep all one colour on, but it's really big. I've been more tended to use the concealer brush for shadow and the shadow brush for concealer, but that's just my preference. Next we have the tapered blending brush, which is this. It's just, you know, your normal domed shader brush, which is really good. It's really fluffy and thick, but the thing is, it's slightly tapered, but I wouldn't say a lot. I'm not bothered, and saying it's supposed to be a tapered brush, but I don't think it's that tapered, but it's still really well. It's really fluffy, and it's really good for getting in there and shading out everything, blending everything out, making sure there's no harsh lines. It really gets in your crease really well at first, because if you look how it's quite long, at first I was thinking, oh no, like, it won't be that good, it won't get in there, it'll be too long, like too big for my eyes, but actually it gets in there perfectly, and it has quite a lot of control because the handles of these brushes are quite long, so you can get quite a lot of good control. You can hold it down here, get a lot of control, or you can hold it up and let the brush do most of the work, which is really good. Everybody needs a good blending brush, and I think this is definitely the one for you. Next we have a normal pencil brush. It's the 904. Looks like this, and it's just your standard pencil brush. It's really good for blending out eyeshadow underneath, like your waterline. You can do pretty much anything with it. You can smudge out your eyeshadow. It's really good, but the only thing is, most pencil brushes are a lot more stiff, and if you look, this isn't that stiff at all. It's not very stiff, which is a downside in a way, but then at the same time it feels really good on your skin. Like, it isn't scratchy or anything like that. It isn't too harsh on your skin, which is good. But so I don't know if that's a plus or a negative that it's not that stiff. Next we have the normal eyeshadow brush, which is the 305. And it looks like this, and then yet again it's quite dense. It's really good. It picks up a lot of product. It's really good for just packing on eyeshadow. You can do some crease work as well, which is really good because it kind of doubles. I think if you needed one eyeshadow brush, this would be the best brush. It's a good all-rounder, but it's definitely good for packing on product. You can also use it really well to highlight. It gets right onto your brows to highlight, possibly in the tear duct, if you use the angle section. It's just really good, and it has minimum fallout. Like, I've even used glitter shadows with this and there hasn't been much fallout at all, which is amazing because glitter shadows always fall out. Finally we have the eyeliner brush, which is the 772. Looks like this. Comes with a little protective cap on it. Then it looks like this. It's very thin, and then it's got a big point. And my face is like really stiff. I don't know if you can see. It's really stiff, like very stiff, but the end is more soft, so it's good because it stays stiff to give you a nice precise line, but then because the end has a bit of give in it, it won't be really hard on your skin, so it doesn't tug or anything. So that's really good that it's like so good on your skin and it doesn't tug or pull or anything. Overall, I think they're a really good set of brushes. They're really worth the money and they're really good quality. I think they're good if anyone's starting out in makeup, or if you just want to add to your brush collection that you already have. I think they're brilliant for that. I'll link Sedona Lace's website down below, and I'll link the brushes, and I'll try and do the individual prices because I know you can get them all individually now. And you can also get a kabuki for the set as well, which I didn't end up getting, but very good. So I'll link that all below. Thanks for watching. If you have any requests, leave them down below.